All right, guys, working on a 2010 Chrysler Sebring and doing a battery swap. So the battery on this vehicle is not anywhere that you would typically see, and in the hood area is actually underneath. You know, it's underneath the airbox area right here, and you can see the terminal right there, positive terminal. So to remove the battery, you gotta remove the wheel, and then you gotta remove the wheel well here. So the geniuses that designed this want you to go through this exhaustive effort. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, guys, so there was a 8mm bolt right here, one right there, and then there were like 3 or 4 of these clips, which, you know, just use the needle nose plier, got it out, and there you go, voila, that's the battery. So I'm gonna remove the connections and try to slide this sucker out. It's actually a tight spot. So again, the geniuses at Chrysler decided to put the battery here. Alright, guys, the other thing I did is I removed this bracket, which was across. It had 13mm bolts and screws. I got the top, the positive terminal out. And I gotta remove this bolt right here where my light is hitting. That's a 13mm. So now I got room to take it out, but it's more complicated than I thought. All right, guys, that 13mm bolt that was right here, that was such a pain to get out. So I put some PB Blaster and I tried to remove it, and that screw just broke. So now you got this bracket comes off. So I'm not worried about that bolt. I can make a hole and I can use some zip ties if I need to. So let me just pull this battery out, and I should pull it forward, and then we should be able to remove the other terminal connection. I got to pull the battery forward. Now I can reach the negative terminal, 10mm bolt right there. So I'm gonna remove it. Got the battery out. The terminal and the connections were super corroded. And that's even after taking a lot of the corrosion off with some vinegar before even starting. So I'm gonna take a wire brush and clean these off before I put the new battery back in. Alright, guys, here's our replacement battery. We went with a size group 85 with a Duracell battery. That was the size 26. They're compatible, so I'm gonna put that back on now. Alright, guys, our terminal, I don't know if you can see, it was broken, it's rusted, it's corroded. The bolts are not even spinning. It was hard, and yeah, it's just it's a lot of wear and tear on this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna put a new terminal. So if you don't know how to do that, we're gonna go through that process as well. So I'm just gonna take my cutter and just cut it from here, and then remove like a 1/4 inch of the wire to put the wire in the new connector. Right, guys, I cut the wire, and I'm just gonna slice it with a blade so I can put it in the new. All right, guys, that's the new terminals that I got. It's a 2-pack. Looks like our other one is pretty beat up too, so I may change that, but I just want to show you on one. What I did is I sliced the wire, just used the blade. I probably need to cut it a little more, and what's gonna happen is this is gonna go inside you know, the housing here. I'll show you that. Here's the battery terminal. What you do is you loosen these 2 bolts, and these are size 11. And your battery terminal is basically just gonna go in there, and then you're gonna tighten those bolts. You obviously want to make sure that you still have enough wire so you don't cut a lot. So in this case, I'm just gonna, you know, slice maybe a 1/4 inch more so it fits in that area snug. And just gonna tighten the bolts, and that's it. Then you have a new terminal. All right, guys, I ran into a pickle. So, you know, I put this connector on, but however, when I put the battery back, this connector is about 2 inches short because I cut the wire off, and there's not enough play. So now we got to figure out another solution. And so what I did is I went back to the store, and I found this. So basically what this is I can put the wire in here, tighten it, and then it gives me, you know, enough room to connect it onto the terminal. And then it has these extra connectors which I won't need, so I'll just tape these off. and you know, you can use it has a hex nut to tighten the cable. So this is what I'm gonna use. All right guys, I took the old connector off, and again I'm just gonna put this inside that little hole, fit it in there, and then you know, tighten the Allen nut. All right guys, this is all connected, all tight, and now this will connect, and I'm gonna tape these ends off because we're not gonna use them. Just want to make sure no water gets into it. Now I gotta figure out what to do with this one. This is also rusted, the screw won't come off. If I cut this, I don't know if I have enough play. Let me connect the other side first and figure it out. All right guys, I'm back. So I got the negative terminal back in there, all connected, and what I was checking is, even if I have enough play with the positive terminal. It seems like I do, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this from right there with my pliers, and then I'm gonna use another simple connector and put both of these into that connector and put the terminal back on. So a 15-minute battery swap has taken over an hour. Unbelievable. So before I cut the red wire, I took out the negative terminal just to make sure there's no issues. All right guys, there's the positive terminal all cut. So I'm gonna, you know, cut these two wires, join them together, and put them inside the connector. All right guys, so I'm gonna use this connector. This one is good for 2 wires to go in there. So again, I'm gonna slice those wires, connect them together, and put them in this connector. Same bolts, I think 10 or 11 millimeter bolts. All right guys, slice them about 1/2 inch. You just try to turn these a little and just put them into that connector. All right guys, I got it connected in there. So now we're gonna put the battery back on, connect these cables, and hopefully we should be good to go. Right, guys, before I tighten and secure this fully, I just started the car. Everything works. So now I'm ready to put all this back. What a day. So I got the battery installed, positive and negative cables. I put a piece of wood to give me some more height because it was still tight up there for the positive cable for me to put on the switches. So you know, I'm just gonna put the bracket back on, the cross bracket, and put the wheel well back on. All right guys, got the wheel well back installed, got the battery back installed. I'm just gonna put the tire on, but everything's good to go. The car locks, unlocks. Again, we're not getting that noise anymore. That I don't know if you remember that, but that was related to the battery. Car starts fine. No battery light. There's a check engine light. That's something else. That's the throttle body. We'll take care of that separately. But everything looks good to go. Hope this video helped you. You know, we not only did we put on the battery, but we also, you know, had to put on battery connectors for our terminals, and got a little difficult and more complex than expected. So again, another video, but you can do it. Thanks, bye.